Hi everyone, welcome back to Pop Chopstick. I'm Will. Today I want to talk about one of the most unforgettable Japanese movie I have ever seen, Confessions, and especially its stunning soundtrack.
When I feel lonely, please stand beside me and keep me.
Confessions was released in 2010, directed by Tetsuya Nakashima and adapted from Kanae Minato's novel. The story follows a teacher whose shocking confession to her students sets off a dark chain of revenge and revelations. The movie is cold, stylish, and brutal, yet every frame feels like a piece of visual art. But what makes Confessions even more powerful is the music. Nakashima has always been known for his excellent music taste, and this time he brought together Japanese pop, Western indie rock, classical pieces, and even folk songs, creating a soundtrack that feels just as intense and haunting as the story itself.
I don't need innocent etiquette. I don't need empty grapefruits.
The Confessions soundtrack includes over 20 tracks, spanning a huge range of music style. From the UK band Radiohead's Last Flowers was chosen as the theme song. Japanese experimental rock band Boris contributed 6 heavy and distorted tracks. Idol group AKB48 appears with the hit River, injecting a burst of energy. And then there are some classical music pieces by Bach and Handel, the folk song Long Long Ago, plus dream pop, electronica, and more. Speaking of classical music, it also reminded me another Japanese movie, all about Lily Choo Choo. That movie used Debussy and the soundtrack and the fictional singer Lily Choo Choo. Her they are both amazing. If you like me to review those 2 albums, please comment below and let me know. All of these tracks collide to create a soundscape that magnifies the cold, suffocating atmosphere of Confessions. And now I want to deep dive into some key artists in this soundtrack.
If you take me, then you'll get relief.
Let's start with Radiohead. The track Last Flowers was originally tucked away in the special edition of In Rainbows. It wasn't widely known, but Nakashima deeply moved by this song and placed in the film's most crucial scene. The leading actress Takaku Masu once said, "I don't know if I could call it a song of despair or a song of hope. Listening to the music feels like falling into a silent world." For many fans, this was a moment where music and visuals reached the perfect harmony. Some fans even said, after loving Radiohead for many years, I finally found a director who could visualize the sound. Radiohead's music is known for being cold, experimental, and otherworldly. They started in the 90s as part of a Britpop wave, but evolved toward electronic, ambient, and experimental rock. Their songs often feel detached but cut straight to the soul. In Confession, Last Flowers felt like it was written exactly for this movie. And now let's move to the completely opposite, AKB48. Formed in 2005, AKB48 quickly became one of the biggest idol groups in Japan and Asia. The concept was idols you can meet, with theater shows, handshake events, and general elections where fans could directly shape the group. The song featured in Confessions, River, is full of energy and determination. It's about crossing a river, breaking obstacles, and moving forward. Basically, it's a motivational anthem, but within the film's cold, dark context, this bright idol song suddenly felt ironic, almost unsettling. That contrast is exactly what makes this song so powerful. For me personally, it was the first time I ever heard AKB48, and it opened my eyes to how idol pop can take on totally different meanings depending on the context. Next, we have Boris, one of Japan's most iconic underground experimental rock bands. Formed in the 90s, Boris almost impossible to pin down. They move between noise, metal, drum, and psychedelic rock. In Confessions, Boris contributed 6 songs, like Rainbow, Mammy Shin, something beat, I don't know the Japanese, and Farewell. These songs are full of distortion, heaviness, and suffocating textures that match the film's vibe perfectly. If Radiohead provided the flower of despair, then Boris created the air of oppression that hangs over the entire movie. Together, they made the film almost physically overwhelming to watch and to listen. And finally, let's talk about the XX, another band I personally like. They rose global fame around 2009 with the minimalist, intimate style. Their songs are usually built from just bass, a guitar, drum machines, and a soft interplay of male and female vocals. It's very simple, but the emptiness leaves so much emotional space. In Confessions, the track Fantasy is used, and it's classic the XX. Sparse, dreamy, almost ghost-like. When paired with the film's icy visuals, it drags the audience deep into that suffocating world. For me, this was the moment I truly fall in love with the XX. The albums like XX and Coexist became records I couldn't stop listening to after. So the Confessions soundtrack feels like a musical experiment. It blends Western indie rock, Japanese idol pop, classical compositions, and underground noise to create something truly unique. The music doesn't just support the film. It feels like a declaration of cool, and beauty. For me, this soundtrack was a getaway. Because of Confessions, I discovered both Radiohead and AKB48, two groups that couldn't be more different, but both ended up becoming some of my all-time favorites. So has there ever been a movie soundtrack that completely changed your taste in music, or some music that you discovered because of a movie? Share your stories in the comment below. And the good news, I have created a playlist of Confessions soundtrack for you with all the songs I could find, because you know Japanese music copyright is very like complicated. Some songs I still couldn't find on Apple Music or Spotify. So I will leave the link below this video and enjoying listening. And I'm Will, this is Pop Chopstick. Hope you like this video and follow me. I will see you next time.